Somewhat Tin Man. Mickey, what's good with you?
What's good, man? What's good? Sound like you lost your voice or something, man.
Yeah, a little bit. It sounded like RFK. You know, man, I've been listening to your single Eastside though. That's a banger, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. It's getting a decent response, so we love that, man. For real. Appreciate that.
Yeah, what was the inspiration behind it?
Um, I mean, just repping where I'm from, the east side of Chicago. Nobody really I feel like we don't get a lot of representation, so I wanted to come out with something for, the side of town where I'm from.
Yeah, one of the things I appreciate about your music is the fact it has a revolutionary aspect. Songs like Killing White Boys. Do you talk a little bit about the influence behind that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's just me. That's just who I am, I guess. I had uncles that was Panthers, and like I grew up, with that type of being instilled in us. That pride of being black and things like that. So I guess, like I said, that's just me. It's just how I carry it in my everyday life. So it bleed over into the music.
Yeah, I feel like, you talk about that a lot on social media. And one of the songs like you have on one of the quotes you say in East Side is, while one of these killers killed Kyle Rittenhouse. I thought that was like a powerful line.
Yeah, yeah, that resonated with a lot of people. Like, especially when I do it live for the first time, it resonated with a lot of people. But like I said, that's just more like me being who I am. That was a real thought. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like uh for sensationalism or nothing. That's really how I felt. Like it's all these people talking all this extra aggressive, like this is an extra aggressive era in music, and it's like, well, what about the people that's killing us? So that was just the sentiment that just came out, man. I feel like that about a lot of situations.
Being from Chicago, it's a city that's always on the news. And like right now, there's this issue, as far as like the Venezuelans. And like a lot of people feel like, that there's going to be a lot of tension between the Venezuelan gangs and the Chicago gangs. Do you see that in Chicago?
Uh, yeah, yeah, somewhat, because these Venezuelan people ain't dumb. It don't take long to look around and realize that the government don't have our back. The police don't have our back like that. So they can do things in our community that they can't do in other communities. That's why they put them in our community.
Right.
In mass. If you send if you take 200 vice lords and drop them in Puerto Rico, they're gonna establish something. They're gonna do something. You drop 200 of them in one place. You know what I'm saying? So the tension is yeah, man. It's starting to come to the surface a little more. It's unavoidable. I think the wintertime may quell that a little bit though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if this was like the beginning of the summer or something, it would be scary for real.
For sure. One of the things I noticed is you're one of the few rappers that post like their actual numbers, like what I mean, and stuff like the streamings. What was the reasoning behind that?
Man, because I see a lot of cap, man. I see a lot of cap, man. That's really what it is. And I'm the type of dude that I do research. So if I see somebody saying, I'm the number one rapper, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, yeah, I'm gonna go look, how many followers you got on Spotify, how many views you getting, and I'm not the biggest artist by no stretch of the imagination, but my numbers are real and authentic. And I feel like everybody else be capping. You know what I mean? They're not even doing numbers. They just saying these outrageous statements. So, when I say that I say I'm the best in the city, and I really believe that. And especially as far as the people coming out with me, I could put my numbers up against anybody that's coming out with me in this era from this city. And if not, man, it's comparable.
believe that too, man. Like, you know what I mean? And stuff like, I don't think there's another artist like right now, like, you know what I'm saying, with the authenticity that you have and like the quality of songs. Like you make really great music. And like, you know,
I
I mean,
appreciate
it's like, you know, I'm definitely say that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Salute. Like, you know what I mean? What do you think is stopping you from getting like that recognition? You know, because like your numbers, like, you know, they're impressive, but like they're not like, you know, as big as like I feel they should be.
yeah, they definitely, like I said, I'm definitely not the biggest artist by no stretch of the imagination, man. I just try to be consistent and keep building. Every release do better than the last. But like in Chicago, it's a glass ceiling in Chicago that everybody knows about. My team really wants me to move to Atlanta, man, which is crazy. Like it's crazy. And when they first told me that, I was kind of offended. But as we go on this journey, I kind of get it. You know, Chicago is not a city that embraces its own culture. So you kind of have to latch on to other people culture to get
Right.
attention or get a cosign from somebody else to get that attention in Chicago. So I think that's what it is. And I don't even let it discourage me because, like I said, I look at big artists that
Right.
don't get support here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Chance the Rapper, Lupe Fiasco. Like they don't get support here. Common just did a free show, bro.
Yeah.
A free show. It
Yeah.
was dope too. Like I was there. But bro, they not supporting Common in Chicago, bro. Let's
True.
keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think like that is like, you know, Chicago artists like, you know, really don't necessarily get support?
Uh, like I said, I think it's we got a problem with our embracing our culture. Cause it seems like when you go to other cities, you don't even have to be a good artist. If you say you from Chicago, people will listen to you.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, right? But when you come here, if you say you from Chicago, nobody listens to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a I don't know, man. I don't even know the phrase for it, but it's just like we don't embrace our own culture, man. We got greats in this city.
Yeah.
We got like if Twister dropped a project next week, it should be the hottest thing in the city.
Yeah.
But it probably won't be. Even if the music is quality A1, you know what I'm saying? It won't get that support. So, a lot of people won't even know it's out, and that's what it is, man. We don't get that push from within. That's what it is. The radio DJs, the promoters, they not supporting Chicago shit. They don't want to take that chance. And then most of them got artists that they want to blow and they
Right.
got agendas. So it's a bad cycle, man.
Man, how does that affect the way you push your music? Like, you know, a lot of artists, like, you know, are like, you know, touring or like, you know, focusing on like, you know, streaming, like, you know, what is like, you know, something that you feel like, you know, is an important like area to present yourself in. You found the best response.
Well, that's a hard one because you always trying things and changing things. Live shows are never gonna go out of style though.
Right.
That's always a good way to push your product, especially to people who might not be familiar with your work. Live shows is always a way to get the word out, you know. But also marketing is just very important, man. Like Chicago artists, I realize they don't really want to deal with the marketing side, putting up money on marketing in different markets, different cities, different avenues. My number one markets is like Philly, Buffalo, East Coast oriented. It's mostly on the East Coast. I get good traction in like Austin and Dallas and stuff like that. Different markets, but in Chicago is not really where it's at. You got to learn how to market outside of Chicago because, like I said, other cities respect Chicago artists. Like
Right.
for
Yeah. Do you see yourself move into another city?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was thinking about that anyway, though. But yeah, definitely because if you want to pursue this 100%, it's only so far you can go in Chicago. You know, I haven't stretched it as far as I can by any means, but is if you're trying to, break through that glass ceiling we spoke about and get to a certain level, it's not it's nobody that stayed here and did it. You had to leave, unfortunately.
Most definitely. You know, it's a tumultuous time, in this country. Like, we got the upcoming election. Like, is there anything like, like as far as like on your mind, like, as far as like that you see going around globally? Because I feel like you talk a lot about like different social issues in your music.
Yeah, I think that it's coming down to economics. Race always been an issue in America. It always will be because you got to have a bottom to have a top. It's got to be some have-nots if you got haves, but that's what it comes down to, man. It's economics, and everything is basically getting priced out the market. The cost of living is way higher than wages right now, and our government knows this. They got some of the smartest, people working for them. They knew this years ago. They knew when it was going to happen. They can predict these things. So that's what's scary to me, man. Like, you know, where's the money gonna come from? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, where's the money gonna come from? The jobs that our parents had, they're not here for us. The jobs we had ain't here for our kids. And yeah, man, it's looking bleak on that front. And I think that affects everything else because all the problems in the black community, especially in Chicago, it's economic, man. The worst communities, they got no businesses. They got high unemployment. It's nothing for nobody to do. That's why it's so much crime.
Man, last question. Gangster Disciples founder Larry Hoover, he's appeared in court for the first time in years in a long shot bid for release. Like, why do you feel like, it's important for him to be released now?
I feel like it's important for him to be released. Number one, because this man been gone since what, 78 or something like that? 79, something like that. What, the 70s, late 70s, man. People have done way more heinous crimes, man, and
Yeah,
not released. You know,
absolutely.
so I mean, just off that alone, the man need to come home. I'm not a GD or anything like that, so my opinion is unbiased. You know what I mean? It's just a opinion as a black man. Like, that's unconstitutional. It doesn't make sense to be able to hold somebody like that unless they just gonna admit that they're holding him because they scared of him. They scared of his power, but they won't say that. You know, because then that could be challenged. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. They scared of his power. But realistically, if he did get free, I don't think he could make a huge difference out here at this point. Honestly, he may
Definitely,
be in danger. Honestly,
definitely. Mickey Hunt, man, I appreciate you, man, and much like man, I support like man, all the work you're doing, your music, and like I appreciate it, man. I look forward to like when you release and like the videos you've been dropping and stuff, and everything. Like I definitely appreciate it, man.
no doubt, man. I love that. I appreciate that for real, for real. I got some new. I'm working on some new stuff right now, man. I got some visuals coming too. So, y'all be on the lookout for that, man. For real, for real. I love y'all, man. For real.
Definitely, for sure. One.